The migration issue within the EU has drawn a lot of attention and controversy, as it has become a dilemma within most EU states. However, most notably, the UK and Germany are in the list of top 25 countries in the world who have the highest number of foreign-born residents, with the UK housing 8.3 million immigrants as of 2014, and Germany housing just under 10 million. According to the Office for National Statistics, 583,000 people immigrated to the UK in June 2014, whereas according to D-Status, 1,465,000 people migrated to Germany. Following the recent Syrian refugee crisis, the influx of immigrants into the EU has been astronomical. However, with Merkel deciding to accept 800,000 migrants by the end of 2015, and the UK willing to house a mere 20,000 within a 5-year period, it is evident that both EU states have differing views, such as explicit via Cameron's refusal to participate in a quota system created by Germany that would spread immigrants evenly across all 28 EU states.
What is net migration?
Net migration, by definition, is the rate of people moving into a country being less than the rate of people moving out of that same country.
In 2014, the UK experienced a net migration of 298,000, which was a significant increase from the previous year.
Germany, however, has experienced a net migration of 550,000 people in 2014, which is the highest it has been since 1992. How do both Germany and the UK's attitude to immigration compare?
Both EU countries are internationally known for exhibiting completely different attitudes towards immigration.
According to Dr. Rita Sussmuth in a paper commissioned by the Transatlantic Council on Migration,
prior to the 21st century, Germany's national migration policies have proven to be incoherent and failed to provide durable legal structure.
To match the country's immigration needs, however, a new era met Germany with new reforms.
The UK's government's attitude radically shifted from restrictions imposed to stop the influx of non-white immigrants to shaping a multicultural nation free from prejudice.
Germany's main policies now focus on integration, which is reflected in the National Integration Plan of 2006.
And the implementation of integration courses, which the Federation donated €218 million to in 2011.
The UK shared this concern with Germany as the Home Office published a government document highlighting the need for the UK to
integrate immigrants into society while preserving its diverse character and different cultural backgrounds.
What type of immigration policies have Germany and the UK implemented?
According to the scholar Vukova, the UK Home Secretary believes that the economic immigrants, specifically highly skilled, benefit the economy.
And thus government policy is aimed at gaining economic immigrants to fill labour demands, which is reflected in the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002 and the points-based system.
The system is a means of regulating immigration and is composed of 5 tiers to set rules for immigration on the basis of work or education. There are specific applications for non-EU citizens, those who wish to apply for a student visa, those who wish to apply for a business visa, asylum seekers, and refugees.
Policies must adhere to the EU freedom of movement. Immigrants are categorised by residential status in German law, which may or may not also permit them social and political participation.
As of 2015, and due to the large influx of Syrian refugees, Germany's Finance Minister Söder calls for stricter policies on asylum seekers,
which would allow the deportation of any immigrant seeking asylum from a safe country.
In 2012, the European Blue Card legislation was implemented in Germany, which allowed highly skilled, non-EU immigrants access to Germany.
Part of my research involved interviewing the public. How would you define an immigrant?
Someone who has fled their country to go live in another country.
Do you think there is a stigma attached to immigrants, and if so, why?
Definitely. I think that there's a feeling that there's too many immigrants in the UK, and the population here is very hard done by because there's just not enough space.
How do you think our government should approach immigrants in regards to policy changes?
So I mean, if they're fleeing somewhere that's a war zone and they actually, I don't believe they should give them a European nationality straight away, citizenship. So they shouldn't give that straight away. They should always see how they are in that country, see if they work, see if they actually, do what the citizens do, or just, chill and take money.
I think there needs to be a restriction placed on our borders in terms of immigration. And the reasons behind this is I think we need an enormous amount of investment in our infrastructure. The UK, quite frankly, is almost saturated as far as I can see, and we now need to focus on the people that are here and, you know, structuring that. So, you know, there's a huge impact and a lot of pressure on our economic and our general sustainability. So I do think we do need to restrict the amount coming in. And I do think, yes, we all need to help. As Europe, we need to help the immigration situation.
How do you feel about Merkel's open door policy in comparison to the UK?
He opened them too lovingly. There is ISIS out there, so they should have done checks and, you know, thought this through more. I think they just opened it with loving arms, not knowing the consequences.
I don't agree with, you know, certain countries taking the mass support on their back, and Germany's put themselves forward for this and they are now struggling severely with it. I think Britain was quite smart to keep it to a minimum because we have 500,000 immigrants coming in. There's only so much we can do, although I do think there should be a level of integration with certain communities into the ethos and the standards set by Britain.
Do you believe that your views on immigration are reflected in your government's policies?
No, I don't think so. I think there's more talk than there is action. As of recently, yes, I think movements like the Brexit, I think, are playing a strong part in showing that politicians are listening to the general consensus that, you know, we need to focus on developing our country. So there is a movement now occurring, but it's more talk than action.
What do the German citizens think? Here we witness the way in which Germany's open door policy has led to mass frustration and uprising amongst the public. With the Pegida anti-immigration movement causing massive rifts, it proves the negative implications Merkel's approach has had on Germany. Overall, we can determine that the number of immigrants a country receives is largely influenced by their immigration policies. It is evident that the EU has a large impact on immigration laws within the UK and Germany due to the Freedom of Movement Treaty, which is a core principle of and a fundamental right to those within the EU. UKIP stressed that a Brexit would mean the UK managing its own border policies. We can conclude that Britain's immigration policies reflect their aims to massively reduce the amount of net immigration annually. Germany, paradoxically, have now joined the UK in their bid to reduce immigration by denying asylum requests.